Well, after yesterday's adventure exploring Saint Elmo and walking through the beautiful streets of Valletta, today we are changing the scenery completely. We are leaving Valletta behind and heading across the Grand Harbour to discover three of Malta's most fascinating and historic cities: Birgu, Senglea, and Cospicua, together known as the Three Cities. These places might not be as famous as Valletta, but they have an incredible history, beautiful streets, old buildings, stunning harbor views, and stories hidden around almost every corner. Today, we are going to take our time walking through these historic streets and discovering what makes each city so special. We'll explore Birgu, one of the oldest and most important fortified areas in Malta, and we'll make our way towards the impressive Fort Saint Angelo, standing proudly at the entrance of the Grand Harbour. We'll also discover Senglea with its beautiful waterfront and spectacular views across the harbour, and Cospicua, another city with centuries of history and its own unique character. And of course, we are not just going to walk around and admire the views. Along the way, I'll tell you some of the stories, history, and interesting little details that make these three cities so fascinating. We are starting our day here in Birgu, one of Malta's most historic city. Birgu, also known as Vittoriosa, has a history going back centuries. It became especially important during the time of the Knights of St. John, who arrived in Malta in 1530 and made Birgu their main base before Valletta was built. The city was heavily fortified and played a crucial role during the Great Siege of 1565 when the Knights and the Maltese defended Malta against the Ottoman invasion. And today we are walking through these same historic streets heading towards one of the most impressive fortifications in the area, Fort of Saint Angelo. Fort Saint Angelo sits right at the tip of Birgu, overlooking the Grand Harbour. It is one of Malta's most important historic fortifications and has been strategically important for centuries. During the Great Siege, it was a key part of the defense of Malta, and its position gave the defenders an incredible view across the harbor. As we are making our way towards the fort, the harbor is already giving us a little show of its own. We've been seeing yachts arriving from different parts of the world, all gathered around the Grand Harbour, and even some huge cruise ships in the distance. And the funny thing is, it's still incredibly quiet. But then again, it's only 10 in the morning, so I guess most people are still waking up while we're already out here exploring Malta. I actually love walking around places like this early in the morning. The streets are peaceful, there aren't so many tourists yet, and you can really take in the atmosphere without feeling rushed. So we are continuing our walk through Birgu with the harbor beside us and Fort Saint Angelo waiting ahead. This fort has been standing here for centuries, guarding the entrance to the Grand Harbour. Its origins go much further, but it became especially important when the Knights of St. John made Birgu their base in the 16th century. And as we are walking towards it, I can't stop looking at all these yachts around us. There are so many of them coming into Malta from different parts of the world. It's such a beautiful contrast, this massive historic fortress that once played a major role in the defending Malta, surrounded today by luxury yachts peacefully sailing through the harbor. And look at how quiet it is. It's still early in the morning, so we can actually enjoy the walk without huge crowds around us. Fort of Saint Angelo has been shaped by many different periods of Maltese history. Its origins go back to the medieval period, when a castle stood here known as the Castri Maris, or Castle by the Sea. When the Knights of St. John arrived in Malta, they took over the site and transformed it into a much stronger military fortress. During the Great Siege, Fort Saint Angelo became one of the most important defensive positions in Malta. From here, the Knights could control the Grand Harbour. After the Knights, the fort continued to have a military role under the British, who used it as a naval establishment. So, standing here today, we are looking at a fort that has witnessed centuries of battles, different rulers, and changing military powers.
Was in complex in the Mediterranean scenario. France would control Malta until developed more fortress colony in the Mediterranean. In 1843, the British Admiralty converted the inner end of Galleys Creek into a dry dock. In 1853, Lord Aberdeen used Malta to launch a war against Tsar Nicholas I in the Crimea.
One of the most interesting things about this place is how it was almost like a small fortified city. Inside the complex, you can find courtyards, buildings, defensive positions, and spaces that were designed to support the people living and working here. As we walked around, you can really see how the fort was adapted over time. Different periods left their own marks on the architecture, so it doesn't feel like you're looking at one single building from one specific area. Instead, it's almost like walking through layers of Malta's history. What I also love is the contrast between the old stone around us and the modern harbor below. Today, instead of fleets preparing for battle, we're looking at colorful boats, yachts, and cruise ships moving through the water. After the Knights left Malta in 1798, the site entered another important chapter under British rule. The British gave it the name Fort St. Angelo, and it became connected to Malta's naval history. During the Second World War, the fort and the surrounding harbor were also affected by bombing, as the Grand Harbour was an important British naval base. One particular important building here in Birgu was the Sacra Infermeria, the Knights' Hospital. Their medical system became famous across Europe, and caring for the sick and wounded was one of the main responsibilities of the order. Birgu also became closely connected with the different languages or langues of the Knights. Members of the order came from different European regions, creating a surprisingly international community within this small Maltese city. And Fort St. Angelo was at the center of all of this. Its position allowed the knights to protect the city while also controlling movement through the harbor. What I find fascinating is that Birgu wasn't built simply as a beautiful historic city. Every street, building, and fortification had a purpose: religious, military, political, or medical. Inside the museum today, we get a much more personal look at the people who once lived and worked here. Instead of only seeing the fort from a military perspective, you can explore rooms connected to the everyday life of the knights and the rulers who came after them. There are reconstructed bedrooms, pieces of ceramics, household objects, and other items that give us an idea of how people actually lived inside these historic walls. I really like this part because it makes the history feel much more human. These aren't just battles and fortifications anymore. We can imagine people sleeping here, eating, working, and spending their everyday lives inside the fort. It's a small glimpse into what life behind these enormous walls might have looked like centuries ago. Also, if you're enjoying our Malta adventure, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave us a like, and tell us in the comments what you think. Your support means so much to us and help us keep exploring. After spending some time exploring Fort St. Angelo, we are leaving the fort behind and continuing our journey towards Senglea. Today, Malta has decided to give us a completely different atmosphere. It's raining, the sky is grey, and honestly, I love this weather. Usually, when we travel, we hope for sunshine and clear blue skies, but there is something incredibly cozy about walking through these old Maltese streets while the rain is falling. The stone streets are quieter, there are fewer people around, and everything feels a little slower and more peaceful. As we walk through Birgu, I'm taking in all the little details around us: the traditional balconies, the warm colored limestone buildings, the narrow streets, and those tiny corners that you might completely miss if you were rushing. We're now making our way towards Senglea, one of the most famous three cities. The rain actually makes the walk feel almost cinematic. You can hear the footsteps of the wet pavement, see the reflections of the limestone, and every now and then we catch a glimpse of the harbor between the buildings. After all the walking, the rain, and exploring Fort St. Angelo, I think we had definitely earned a little break. So, what better way to rest than sitting down somewhere near the sea and enjoying some fresh fish? And honestly, being right next to the water made it feel even better. The rain had finally given us a little break, the harbor was calm, and it was the perfect moment to just sit down, relax, and enjoy some good food. Now, I have to admit something. I'm not really someone who eats fish regularly, so I wasn't even sure what to expect when we order it. But wow, this was actually delicious. The fish was so fresh, tender, and full of flavor, and I think that's what makes eating seafood by the sea so special. You're literally enjoying something that comes from water right in front of you. And just like that, our day exploring the three cities in Malta is coming to an end. From the historic streets of Birgu to the incredible fort of St. Angelo, and then continuing towards Senglea and Cospicua, we've seen a completely different side of Malta today. It wasn't the sunniest day, we had plenty of rain along the way, but somehow that made everything feel even more peaceful and cozy. We walked, discovered so much history, admired the harbor, watched yachts passing by, and of course, ended up enjoying some delicious fresh fish by the sea. I think that's what I love about traveling. Sometimes the weather doesn't go exactly as planned, but you still end up creating beautiful memories. Today is our last day in Malta, and honestly, I'm really sad to be leaving this beautiful island behind. After all the history, the sea, the little streets, and all those places we discovered, our final day is going to be a little slower. We're simply going to walk through Malta, taking its atmosphere one last time, and of course, finally heading towards the Botanical Gardens, the place that was closed every single time we tried to visit. So, we will finally make it inside this time. Come and take one last walk with us through Malta as we enjoy our final day on this incredible island. From the Sliema Valletta Harbour, it's about a 20-minute walk to the Botanical Gardens, and today we were finally going to make it there. Of course, this time we woke up a little late, and you could definitely tell people were everywhere. The streets were much busier, and Malta felt completely different compared to the quieter mornings we had before. And after yesterday's rain, we got the complete opposite today: bright sunshine, blue skies, and that typical Maltese heat. Honestly, it couldn't have been better timing after spending yesterday walking through the rain. Today was absolutely perfect for a relaxing walk and hopefully a peaceful visit to the gardens. So we continue our way through the busy streets, enjoying the sunshine and the views.
It's St. Paul feast.
Dark Malta Festival.
Dark Malta Festival.
Yes, it's between 17 and 19 April.
Dark Malta, really? Ah, God. Jesus Christ. I don't know how we managed to get to another thing without Eva lost her hearing.
I lost it.
Oh, it's beautiful here.
Iarăși, da. It's a holiday and he's bombing.
After every bell, it's a cracker.
And it's working. You cannot really see. I have no idea what holiday is called. Boom and boom. Is that guy from there on top of the building? Ah. And I think he's doing again. He's preparing. And you can hear again. Boom and boom. Very nice. We weren't really sure what was happening, so we looked it up. From what we understood, it was either a Catholic holiday or they had simply started the fireworks festival early. Either way, only in Malta will fireworks starts in the middle of the day.
The Botanic Gardens. It looks a little bit like a Bucharest cemetery, but Eva is laughing. I don't have any problem. Just that Well, you took the left, you know. There are some alleys on Belu Cemetery that look like that. And here is closed or?
Yeah.
Closed. Maybe we can enter from another side? Or this is a resource center?
It's a resource.
Ah,
It's for the University of Malta studies.
Eva, do this. You can live in a garden.
Biology.
Doesn't matter, we live here. See?
So are you going to come with me in university to study too?
No, I'm staying here smoking. Side-eye. Ta-da.
She learns side-eye.
Huh?
Wow.
I think the only thing that there is there more. It's rare to see green in Malta. Of course, there are areas, just that in the cities it's difficult. And that it was all the Botanical Garden. What? I think there are. This it was all? No, really? And maybe there?
And they didn't want to change what it was saying to them, that it's closing at 1, they are closing at 11.
Yeah, and on Google
So-
says at 1.
So it's basically a park. Maybe to go in that direction.
Maybe, let's go there. Maybe we are just complaining for nothing. Let me jump. No, I think that it was, and here it's only a small park. Kind of that.
We can go to admire
Look
the
here,
views.
yeah. You have a point.
Even though we couldn't actually go inside the botanical gardens because they were closed, the walk here definitely wasn't a disappointment. From outside, the gardens were already beautiful, surrounded by greenery and peaceful little corners. And honestly, after trying to visit them so many times, we were just happy to finally see them. The gardens are also connected to research and education, serving as a place where biologists and researchers can study Malta's plants and biodiversity, which makes them even more interesting. But the biggest surprise of the day came just outside: fireworks from the church in broad daylight. And from this area, we also got some absolutely incredible views across Malta, the kind of views that make you stop for a moment and just look around. And this, guys, was our Malta series. We definitely haven't seen everything. Actually, not even close. But honestly, that's a good thing because now we have the perfect excuse to come back, discover new places, and film even more adventures for you. Because after these days here, I can truly say that Malta stole my heart. From its incredible history and beautiful yellow limestone houses to its unique architecture, stunning sea views, and all those little streets full of stories. There was always something to discover. It was such a pleasure to film this journey for you, and I really hope you enjoy coming along with us. If you did, subscribe, leave a like, and tell me in the comments what we should explore next. And until our next adventure, see you in the next video.